If you are experiencing a lot of anxiety and panicky moments where you're feeling out of control, I want to give you a really important tip that will allow you to take back control fast, all day long, at any moment. Anytime you feel anxious or frustrated or rushed or upset in any way, there's a really fast correction that you can make. It's very simple and very powerful. And it's simply awareness and then control. So, first, all day long, just be aware of how you're breathing, and most specifically, where you're breathing from. It's vital that you breathe in and out of the nose, in the nose and out the nose, not in and out of the mouth. As you start to notice this, you might notice that actually during those panicky, frustrated moments, or even that big sigh might make it feel like a nice big release. But it actually can make you high because when we breathe in the nose and out the mouth, there's an unequal distribution of oxygen and carbon dioxide. We're going to release a lot more carbon dioxide. And if we do that over and over again, it's going to make us high. And if we're breathing in and out of the mouth, it's even worse. Nasal breathing is efficient, it's very safe, and it's very stabilizing. You see, your nose has structures inside of it called turbinates. These are tiny little spirals. They warm the air, they humidify the air. And of course, you've got all these little hairs that filter the air, but the turbinates also do that. So they're preparing the air before it actually enters your lungs. And this warming and moistening allows your lungs to fully inflate and actually absorb the oxygen that you're breathing in. The nose also helps to regulate airflow and pressure, and these turbinates are what allows you to actually feel the cooler inhale and the warmer exhale. And when you're able to feel that airflow and the pressure, this supports your nervous system and it makes you feel balanced. Let's compare nasal breathing to mouth breathing. When you breathe in and out of the mouth, you're bypassing these turbinates that are in the nose. So you're sending cold, dry, unfiltered air into your lungs. And your lungs don't fully expand. So your oxygen absorption, that means how much, doesn't matter how much you're breathing in, it's how much you can actually absorb. So mouth breathing can actually spike your stress. And when it's done all the time, it leads to that foggy, like lightheaded feeling, and your system feels destabilized. Here's the part that most people get wrong. Breathing in and out of the mouth can feel helpful in the short term because maybe you have obstructed passages. There's about 30% of Americans statistically that have some form of obstruction in their nose, whether that's a deviated septum, consistent or chronic allergies. But actually, in the short term, mouth breathing releases more carbon dioxide. And so it'll create this sense of being high, this false sense of lightness, and it can make you feel ungrounded. And that's not what you want. You want your default setting, especially when your emotions are high, to be solid and steady. And you notice that when you're talking, you're actually breathing in and out of the mouth more. But if you can be more conscious of it and actually choose to close the lips and inhale into the nose steadily, and then exhale out the mouth because you're going to be talking, this small little shift in consciousness, just being aware of where you're breathing and how you're breathing, this can totally reset your baseline. And it's a way to instantaneously give you control over your situation in every way. It's something that you can actively focus on and do, because those are the two things you can control, your thoughts and your actions. And so this can bring that baseline down so that you're feeling more calm and more relaxed every single day. In the nose, out the nose, in the nose, out the nose. I know it's simple, but this single little shift is how we begin to rewire the entire stress response.